Alright, here we are. Yet another episode of the Talk Podcast, where I talk to my buddies about life, about our favorite memories, whatever the hell we want to talk about. Today is going to be a little bit different of an episode because this is a relationship themed episode. And this is somebody who I dated for about a year and a half. And we have a lot of funny stories to share in our relationship. So I'm going to want to welcome Regan to the pod.
Hey, yo.
So tell us about yourself a little bit. Let the people know.
I'm terrible at introductions. That's first thing. I'm Regan. I am a youngster. I'm 18, so yay me. What else? I love anime, as I should. Play video games. I'm a chorus kid.
Chorus kid.
And that's all I can think of.
Alright, we'll roll with that. Because, okay, listen, we were into a lot of the same stuff, and that's what got me attracted at first. Was the fact that we loved video games, and we loved video games because at the time I started our relationship, I didn't like anime, but I came to watch it more and more as we were together. So, I'm going to ask you the same question I ask every guest. I'm going to ask you what your favorite moment of myself was.
Favorite moment of you? There's plenty of dumb, stupid moments that I could quote.
If you had to pick one.
Some of them I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about.
We do have a lot to talk about in this hour-long podcast.
I know, but I'm saying I don't know if I want. I don't know if I should, damage your reputation like that.
Well, my reputation's already damaged. Go for it.
Let's see. I don't think I can have one thing, but one of my favorite ones. You did this thing randomly. We were on video chat. You would just go into your bathroom and just start shaking your butt while holding on to the top of your shower.
I love me some cake, and I had cake, and you knew it.
You had cake? Bitch, where?
I have an ass. So let's
Are
get
you
that out
sure?
of the way. There's a lot of junk in my trunk, people.
Are you sure, though?
Yes. So anyway, moving on. Let's talk about advice. Relationship advice. You and I have two different probably versions of advice we could give. And I would like to ask you, before we start talking about the memories and all that, what your advice would be to any single Pringles out there who are trying to get in there.
First, don't rush into it. Don't let the other person be like, it's fine if we do it this way, or it's fine if we do it that way. It's all for fun. I mean, it is, but at the same time, like, you shouldn't let other people influence the way that you want a relationship to go, especially if it's your first one, or the first one that you've had in a while. Keep your morals the way that you want to keep your morals. And also, commitment is not as cool and fun as you think it is. It's a lot of work. So, try to be friends with people first. That's the big thing. A lot of people try to rush into relationships. It's better to be friends first to see who they are as a person, and then you can figure out if you would rather go further or if you would just stay the way that you are.
Perfect. Here's the advice I would give. I would say, and that's probably the main reason why we never got to see any further than what we did, but the one advice I'd give is make sure you're ready. Because a lot of times, like you said, people rush into things and don't know what's going to happen. So you always have to be ready, and you always have to know that you are ready to do this. Because if you aren't ready, it's gonna be figured out in an instant that you're not. And that's where I went wrong in our relationship. And so it's very important to always just take it slow, like you said.
Yep. And if you're really not ready, you need to communicate that.
You do.
Mhm.
You do. Take it from me, because this is all coming from our experience.
Yep.
So, where do we start? There are so many things we could talk about. I don't know where to
I
even
feel like we
start.
should just start from the beginning. I feel like that's the easiest place to start.
Okay,
We could
so
talk about how it came to be, how I came to know you. Because that was quite a story in itself.
to put this into context, we have a group chat of a bunch of buddies on Discord, and my friend Luke, who was in that chat with us,
We
one day
started on Instagram, by the way.
huh?
It was an Instagram chat. We moved to Discord after everybody left the other chat.
Instagram chat. So Luke's in this Instagram chat with me and the boys, and he asks us if he wants to, if we want him to bring his girlfriend on board, and I'm like, we're like, cool, whatever. She comes on. I thought she was white. That's the first thing I thought. And then the second thing I thought was, damn, we're hitting pretty close. We used to our main game was Fortnite. Everybody played Fortnite, and so we would always play. And me and you would hit a certain emote where it was the call me emote. We still use that, and like it kind of built from there. And it just like, I don't know. What do you think? Did I tell it accurately?
There's a lot more to it. My recollection of it. I mean, you got the first part right, that we had a group chat and Luke was in there and asked if I wanted to join. After the fact that Kevin asked Luke to play Fortnite with him, but y'all were all in Kevin's game. So
Shout out to
Luke
Kevin.
asked me if I wanted to play. That was the first time I ever met you guys.
Yeah.
Was during that game.
And it kind of just built from there, and then eventually her and...
Yeah, because then he joined the group chat, and then he asked me if I wanted to join the group chat, and then I joined the group chat.
And then...
So that was when we started to talk more.
And eventually...
you asked me to play games a lot more, because you were extremely clingy back then.
I was
you had nothing else better to do.
I was what these kids call these days a simp. So...
Yeah. Basically.
So what would happen eventually is that her and Luke would break up. And knowing me, the sly dog, I slid in, and then it went from there. And then we started talking, and then I wake up one morning, like sometime, I can't remember exactly when, but I wake up one morning and I find out that she likes me. And I'm like, whoa, because I didn't think that would happen. And especially when I got friend zoned. And so that blew me over.
Friend zone you.
You friend zoned me.
Your recollection of the story is so different, fam. Like, I don't know what you're on, but that's just not what happened.
So why don't you tell people what happened? Since
I will tell them, because you don't understand what happened. Ignore everything that he's saying, because his point of view is not correct. So, like he said, me and Luke broke up, and he didn't slide in. I was already talking to you at that point. I just started talking to you more, because after I broke up with him, I was like, I'm so distraught, I don't know what to do, so I asked you for advice about what I should do in terms of making up with him, or trying to, like, figure out what I should do in the future, and basically how to get my life right, because I was like, I don't know what's happening. So, with that, I started to get closer to you, and I felt more connected to you. But at the time, I also didn't realize that I already had a crush on you anyway. So that kind of helped with that. But then I asked you, I texted you one night because I was texting with a friend. I was like, I'm pretty sure I really like this guy, but I don't know if I should tell him or not. And me and her just went back and forth. She's like, you should tell him. I was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. So then I texted you at like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, hey, so I kind of like you, and I left it at that. Like, that's all I said. And then I just went to bed and I just could not sleep. I was like, oh my god, what is he gonna say? I was like, should I delete the message? I'm like, no, this is dumb. And I'm like, at the same time, he's not gonna want to go for it. I didn't friend zone you because I was in a relationship. Okay, at the time, you can't really friend zone somebody when you're already in a relationship because you're in a relationship unless you would rather me have 2 boyfriends, which I was not gonna do.
2 is better than 1.
Yeah. No. No.
Double the sausage. So. Double the sausage.
Especially with how much I had to deal with when we actually started dating. Yeah,
we
I don't think so.
can pencil that for a different point in this podcast. Fast forward. Yeah. Fast forward to our actual relationship.
Yeah.
I didn't ask over the phone like normal people do, or in person like normal people do. I asked over text, and surprisingly enough, it worked.
Because I literally was like, if you don't ask me out, I'm gonna ask you out.
So I was basically threatened. I was forcibly threatened to ask this woman out, and so at that point, then we became a relationship. I mean, she had a gun to my head the whole time, but it's okay because it was a good relationship. I think it built us up as better people. In my mind, what do you think?
I mean, it's fine.
I think it did. And here's another thing for everybody out there. Long distance relationships, if you ever think about getting into one, or if you're in one, whoo! Yeah. It's tough. It's a really tough obstacle. And so if you know how to handle it, then good on you. Here's your gold star. But if you're just starting to get into one, you gotta be patient. Patience is important. And on top of that, you just gotta dedicate time to the person. And so that way, nobody's hurt from it. But
it also depends on the type of person. Like, if I wasn't the way that I was, I think you would have been fine in a long distance relationship because you like having time by yourself. You're fine with doing your own thing. Me, a distraught little child who just got out of a relationship, was like, I need people to talk to me. I need social interaction. I need to be doted on 24/7. And so I was basically like, if you don't talk to me every day for at least 2 hours a day, I'm gonna be mad. So, yeah, I am not great. I mean, I made it work in a sense. Like, you kind of get used to it as time goes on, but it's really hard to grow as people if you're the type of person like I am, who needs that person to be there. Not all the time, but just, like, physically. It's a lot harder to know someone only as a long-distance partner and not as an in-person partner.
That's a very good point. June! Let's talk about June.
Oh, are we gonna go there?
We're gonna go there early. We're getting there early.
Okay.
A whole lot of things happened in that week of June last year. So, I think my favorite memory of that was going to my grandparents. That was so fun.
It really was.
And shout out to my grandparents. Y'all are the best. Y'all raised me right. And we'd go over there. We went over there, made this like cookie brownie thing.
It was a brookie.
A brookie. We sat down and talked and chilled. Had a great time. I love my grandparents, man.
I love your grandparents too. Like, I want them to adopt me.
She wants them to adopt me.
I want them to adopt me. Like, I'm not saying that I hate my family, but
you know mine are better.
Yeah. Well, at least your grandparents are.
Yes. They are the bomb. .com.
I love them. I am gonna go live with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite moment of June?
I mean, besides going to your grandparents, it was probably going to dinner. Like, let me tell you. Okay, you were not the star of the show at dinner. That crab was. That Dungeness crab. Oh my god. It was so good. And the amount of compliments that I got from you telling me I was such a great crab eater, bro. I mean, I can crack open some crabs like nobody's business, and I don't even live on the coast, okay? Bro,
She
it's
showed
2
me.
hours away from the beach from here. I can crack open some crabs like nobody's freaking
She
business.
showed me up at that crab place. I looked like I was a lost child. It was brutal. It was absolutely brutal because you're over there munching on crabs and I'm eating like shrimp tacos or some shit.
Yeah.
I looked like a child, and I'm older than you.
Yes, you are.
What's that?
Right.
How does that add up?
I don't know. I mean, I've been going to the beach for basically, not even basically, more than my entire life because my parents went before I was born. So I have been eating crab since I have been able to eat it. Yeah, you didn't have anything on me, okay? Because there was nothing you could have done.
I mean, I was raised around crab eaters, but I just never ate them. Just never
I
picked
love
them, never
crab.
ate them.
Crab is my favorite seafood of all time, and it's one of my favorite foods of all time. It is too good, especially with that good old butter.
It slaps. It's bussin'!
It really is.
It's
Like, bro,
bussin'.
if I could like marry crab legs, I would.
Well, now you can do that. You can go marry all the damn crab legs you want.
I can't marry crab legs because that's not dead. So I would be a widow.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
There's that.
I'd rather not.
Christmas gifts. First Christmas together.
Terrible.
Absolutely brutal.
So bad. At least on your part. My part, I think I did pretty great. I always do pretty great with Christmas gifts.
She was the absolute best gift giver. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced a better gift giver, even in my own family.
I know.
She gave pretty good gifts. But the first Christmas that we had was brutal on my end because I just got the wrong stuff.
You only got stuff that was based on what you like.
My gifts just didn't work.
You said that. You got me a Fortnite nightlight.
I got it.
I'm 3 and Mommy, Daddy, we can't see. It's too dark in here.
To put this into context, that is not a lamp. Not a nightlight. That's a lamp. It's a lamp. It's not a nightlight. It's a lamp. Second of all, you could change the colors on it. You could. I don't remember what it's made out of, but I
don't remember it being able to change colors, but I also never touched it after I got it.
She just threw it away.
I don't think I turned it on once.
She threw it away with my heart all at the same time.
I didn't throw it away. It stayed on my dresser, so I could always see it. I just never used it.
Kept it on her dresser while it collected dust.
I cleaned it off every once in a while.
You gonna tell me right now you did that? No. Anyway, moving on. That didn't happen. So we all know that. Let's talk. What do we talk about? Well, there's a lot, but I gotta prioritize it all. Let's talk about anime. When I tell you, this girl has watched probably every anime in existence.
I have not. There is no possible way. I don't think I could ever watch every anime in existence.
For a majority of her life, she has watched countless of anime. That's a better way to put it.
That is true.
So tell me about our experiences with anime. What got me into anime?
Okay, so first, I can't remember. I don't think you watched the first episode when we were together. I think you watched it before we started dating, right?
I think.
Assassination Classroom?
Yeah. That one.
Yeah. I think we watched it before we were dating. But basically, we were in the group chat, and I was like, we were talking about anime, and you mentioned that you haven't really watched it and that you weren't really a fan of it. And I was like, nope, we're changing that right now. So, I always ask people a series of questions based on what genres they like, based on if they like a male or female lead, sub-dub, blah, blah, blah. And so then I was like, well, my recommendation is watching Assassination Classroom. And so he was like, alright, I'll sit down and I'll watch it. So when he finally decided to watch it, I was there and I got to see his reaction for the entire episode. I'm pretty sure I still have a screenshot of one of his faces that he was making.
I was shocked.
I know. I told you. I have great taste. But he watched it and he was like, this is actually really good. And I said, I know, right? So then he started watching it more and more and he was like, I'm actually really into this. And I said, thank you. You should have been into this before. I don't know who said that you shouldn't watch anime, but that was not the case.
Apparently it was a crime against humanity.
It is.
It was absolutely a
Very
crime
much
against
so.
humanity. My favorite anime that she didn't like, by the way, I watched her anime, but she didn't watch my anime.
I did watch your anime. I gave it 3 episodes. That's the rule. You always give an anime 3 episodes. If you don't like it, move on. If you do, keep watching.
I gave the classroom more than 3 episodes. But my favorite anime
because
of all
you
time
liked it
is Cowboy Bebop. If anybody out there has not watched that,
don't do it.
Watch it. Don't listen to her.
I don't know who decided that it was a good anime, but
that show is glorious, and it has.
I watched it. I didn't understand the plot. There was no backstory. There was no nothing. It just went straight to the action. I think the animation was cool. Everybody knows the opening, so it's iconic, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't it.
So anyway, let's Full Metal Alchemist is one that we can talk about because I was in fucking love with that anime. I may love that anime.
I do.
That was such a good anime.
FMAB is definitely top 10.
I remember being so against watching it. I said I will absolutely not watch it. I will not watch it until we watch Stranger Things, which is what I want to do with Regan, because she's never seen Stranger Things. That's a crime against humanity right there. Who hasn't watched Stranger Things?
I have now officially watched Stranger Things.
Yeah. And you loved it.
And I'm waiting for season 4. I didn't love it. I wasn't like head over heels for it, but I thought it was good. The only thing that made it great was I always forget his name, even though he's my favorite character. The only thing that made it great was Nancy and my favorite guy. I forgot his name. What's his name?
Jonathan.
Yes. And they're married in real life, and they have a child, and it makes me so happy.
Just to explain that, we've watched a lot of shows together because that's the majority of what our long distance time would be of playing video games or watching something, because that's all we could do. Couldn't go see each other but a few times a year, so I had to just watch shows and play Fortnite. And Fortnite's a big part of us.
That is true.
So
but so were other games.
Man, we played a few. We played Rocket League. We played
Minecraft. We played Skate 3. We played GTA. GTA was a big part of the group chat too.
Yeah, we kind of built each other off that group chat. And if that group chat didn't exist, I don't think we would have. So there's a lot that goes into how important the group chat was. There's a lot of
good and bad things about that group chat.
Yeah. I plan on having Kevin on.
When do you plan on having him?
Well, I gotta develop a schedule. I gotta develop a schedule for these things, and I haven't done that
I know,
yet.
but I don't think he's gonna answer you. Like I said, he's in the military.
Yeah, he's been asking for a few days to get on the pod, so.
Really?
Yeah.
He must have some free time.
But this ain't the episode about Kevin.
Okay, sorry.
The episode about you and me.
Is it though?
Yes, it is. It's about our memories. It's about anything. Whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Mm.
So tell the audience, what I ask this question every time too. What kind of music do you fuck with? What do you fuck with?
Everything.
Everything.
Depends on the language. With English, I mostly am a pop person, but I also mess with a lot of alternative thanks to you. And, well, I mean, I also listened to some of it beforehand, but you definitely were like, we're gonna listen to Green Day every day, all day.
Y'all don't understand the love that I have for Green Day. It is
I
like,
don't think anybody will understand.
it is
the
an
love
unconditional love. It
It's
is.
also one-sided.
It might be one-sided, but Green Day loves their fans, so it's not one-sided.
They
Green
love
Day
their
loves
fans,
me too.
but they have no idea who they are. They'll never notice you. Your senpai will never notice you. How do you feel about that?
He'll notice me one day.
I don't think so.
Especially if I blow up.
Sorry.
He'll see me.
If you blow up, it'll be thanks to me. You're welcome.
Another thing. This girl likes to take credit for everything that I do. Even when we're not dating. We're not even dating and she still takes credit for shit that I do.
And we're still friends. This is the same way I've been the entire time that I've known you. For the, 2.5?
2.5 years, yeah. That's nuts to think about, though.
It was, I met you end of January of, was it 2020? It had to have been 2020.
Either that or late 2019.
No, it was 2020. Because me and Luke broke up 2020. Or we got together 2020.
It's been about 2 years since we know each other.
Yeah.
And I asked...
I've known you for 2 years and I dated you for a year and a half of that.
So we weren't together for 6 months out of that whole time.
Yeah, but that's only 6 months to be friends. That's pretty small for most relationships.
Like we mentioned earlier in the podcast, we just weren't prepared.
Who's we? I was plenty prepared.
You and me.
I asked you at the beginning of our relationship. I asked you, I think, like a month or two in, because I saw how you were. I asked you, were you ready? And we went through a whole thing. I remember talking to Megan, playing Minecraft, and I asked you, I was like, are you sure you're ready? Like,
and I said yes.
And you said yes. And then literally we broke up a year and a half later. So, how did you increasingly become not ready as time went on? I feel like that was the opposite.
Let's get this out of the way. I think that us breaking up was the best thing that could have happened.
I agree. I
feel like if we were dating now, it would have already been over by then.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it was a good decision for us to break up, but not because of the fact that we weren't ready.
It's just
I mean, maybe it was for you, but I feel like for me, it was a good decision because we get a chance to grow and become better people. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're not ready for relationships. It just means that we need to improve on ourselves before we can fully commit to anything. And also, I've learned while being single that commitment sucks. I don't like it, and I'm not great at it either.
It's brutal.
Yeah, and I've come to like the idea more of having a relationship without a title, because I feel like it's so much more open. Like, not saying that you can just date whoever you want. Like, you have like a sort of closed off relationship in a sense, but it's also the fact that you don't have to call them boyfriend, girlfriend, or like you don't have to be held down by the normal relationship quote unquote standards. It's just kind of like, you know that you like somebody and you know that they like you and you just like hanging out. I kind of like that idea more of being in a relationship now that I've become single and I've seen a whole bunch of other people and I've known what it's like to be in a relationship for almost 3 years straight.
And here's something I want to bring up. I want to bring this fact up because it's a good fact. a lot of the times you'll see exes either hate each other, not talk to each other, or just distance apart from each other. And we are living proof that that doesn't need to always be the case. You can still be a good friend with somebody who you loved. And it's important that I do this podcast because I feel like that message is better sent somehow. And it's important. And it's always good to chat with you because we are very real with each other. We don't lie about our relationship. It didn't go the way we wanted it to, and it's a good thing that we are able to talk about it and not hate each other's guts because of it. I think if you just like, it's important to keep close relationships regardless of whether you're dating or not. That's the whole point of this. That's why we're talking now, just to show that not all exes have to not talk to each other. We still have a pretty good relationship.
And that's what I think helps, like I said earlier, being friends with the person before you actually date them. I think that helps a lot with when you guys not finally, but if you ever break up or if anything ever happens that you guys distance yourself, you're able to come back to the fact that you are still friends. And that might not always happen, but like, we talked about, our relationship ended on good terms. We were both okay with it. And, it was kind of something that we were both kind of happy that it happened. Like, it wasn't like, oh my god, yes, thank god, I'm tired of him. Oh, so annoying. Oh, I hate this relationship. No, like, I love that relationship and I still love him, but, like, it feels good to be free sometimes. Like I said, commitment is hard and very restraining. And especially in my senior year of high school, with all of the things I have going on, it's really hard to keep up with a relationship with, as committed as I was and as much time I spent doing it, it was hard to do everything that I wanted to do. And now that I have time, I may be bored sometimes, but hey, there's still a whole bunch of animes I haven't seen. And there's a whole bunch of video games that I haven't played. And there's a whole bunch of things in this world I haven't experienced.
Speaking of video games, I got the new WWE game today. 2K22. It hits different. It hits different. That's the ad.
I'm so proud of you.
You damn well should.
Slow clap.
So let's talk about wrestling. Why don't we
start? Oh god.
So, as I've mentioned on other pods, I love me some professional wrestling. I don't care where the hell it comes from. I don't care who the hell is running it. I love me some professional wrestling. So one of my dreams in life was to have my woman not only like video games, but to also like wrestling. So the first inkling of wrestling that I showed you, I can't remember off the top of my head. What was it? Do you know?
What you first showed me, I know, I was at my grandma's house. I was on the couch, and my cousin kept yelling at me from my grandma's room to shut up because I was talking so loud trying to watch this. It was an hour long. It was your favorite man, Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny Gargano!
Yeah. And the guy that I liked.
Tommaso Ciampa. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. What a fucking feud.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the first thing that you showed me to kind of get me into it. And that was also the first person in wrestling that I'd ever hated. Was freaking Johnny Wrestling. He was so annoying. His persona was gross. Like, the way he presented himself was nasty. His egotistical side was annoying. The fact that you hyped him up so much just because he has your same name, I was like, no thank you.
No, he's fucking great. So, okay. And then on top of that match, I showed you... Well, I didn't really show you. You just kind of figured it on your own. You loved Asuka. And you still do love Asuka.
I still have her pop right over there.
She's been injured. She's been injured for a while, and I don't know when the hell she's going to come back.
I need my queen to come back. She's the only reason why I like... Well, she's not the only reason why I like women's wrestling. My only thing was that, like, I like wrestling. Like, I think it was great. I pretty much love every sport. Like, there's not a reason for me to hate any sport. The only thing about wrestling is that, like, I don't want people to kill each other, because clearly that you shouldn't do that. But sometimes people are such bad actors, it messes me up. I'm like, I know it's supposed to be fake, and not supposed to be fake. I know it is fake, and it's all scripted, but the fact that some people made it so plainly obvious that it was just makes me upset.
That's the problem with these fans. These fans have always been like that, though. They always spoil everything, and then when the big pay-per-view comes around, that big surprise has already been known about for months. And it takes away a lot of the childhood mystique that I loved about pro wrestling. Because back then I didn't have any social media to look at anything, so I could never tell what was going to happen, and now I know everything that's going to happen because I follow.
That's why you just don't look up the stuff that you like and you won't get spoiled.
I'm still not learning. So...
Or you could just not look at Instagram or any social media for a day or two.
Well, I'm a millennial. That can't happen. Anyway, moving...
You're not a millennial.
I am a millennial.
You're 2001. You're Gen Z.
Whatever, Gen Z. Point
Did you really just call yourself a millennial?
Gen Z sucks.
Did you really just...
I did. So, let's move into another thing I got you into. Football.
Uh-huh.
As some of y'all know, I fuck with Washington. Been a fan of the Redskins, the Commanders, the football team, my whole life. Her dad is a Cowboys fan. I almost broke up with her that day when I found out.
Oh my god.
I was almost about to break up with her when I found out. When I had Austin on the pod, he's a fucking Eagles fan. I was so upset. Why is everybody fans of teams I hate?
Because nobody likes Washington.
That's probably true. I got her to be a Washington, technically kind of maybe Washington fan over time. Technically kind of maybe. But we always would bet on the games and like who was gonna win, and then whoever won gets a point, and then by the Super Bowl, whoever got the most points wins. Loser has to do something stupid or whatever the other.
Bro, thank God we broke up before the freaking Super Bowl.
Because I would have
had to watch an entire day of wrestling, and I would have hated it.
Oh my god, that was one of my biggest regrets.
You would have shown me all of the shit things. Like, bro, you literally said that my favorite match is shit. Like, it's not even that good.
Her favorite match is Roman versus Kevin in the Royal Rumble of 2021.
Yeah.
While that was a good match, by no stretch of the imagination should it be her best match. Because there are plenty of other matches better than that.
That's my favorite men's match.
That's your favorite men's match?
And my favorite women's match is Bianca versus Sasha.
Now that match was bumping. Those ladies
kicked ass. Bro, the fact that she slapped her with her long ass hair, and you could hear the slap. Bro, girl had a freaking scar on her back. I was like, damn, is she okay? I was like, oh my god.
She got fucked.
But it was a good ass match.
You want to know a fun fact?
What?
There was a segment one time. I'm going to tell a story. There was a segment where one of the commentators, Michael Cole, I don't know if you remember him. He's like the main voice. Whatever.
Yeah.
He was in a storyline with this dude. His name was Heidenreich. He's this tall-ass, blonde. He looks like the main villain out of Rocky IV. But anyway. So, they had this weird angle where he had Michael Cole pinned up against the wall like these. Okay? And it's assumed that Heidenreich raped him on TV.
Oh, I was going to say, is it turning gay? But...
It's more than gay, it's just rape. I'm all for gayness, but rape? He raped the man. Cole was like this. He was like this.
I'm gonna need you to not do that. Nobody wants to do that.
I'm so glad I wasn't growing up at that time. I would have been scarred for life as a child.
I don't think you would have understood what it meant.
No, I didn't know what a curse word until I was 12 years old.
That's not true.
But now people that are...
You knew Linwood.
I did know Linwood. You know what? Let's talk about Linwood. The guests in our...
I love how off topic we're just getting, but go ahead.
This is just a podcast where we talk about whatever. It goes wherever.
I know, but you were telling a story, and then you're like, now let's talk about Linwood. You're not even going to finish your story.
All I had to say was I didn't know a curse word until I was 12 years old, but I did know Linwood, but I still didn't know.
You were talking about a story about you're talking about...
Heidenreich? Michael Cole?
Yeah, but I thought there was another moral. I thought there was an actual purpose to the story. I don't even remember.
I just wanted to douse a segment at you.
Okay, so, go ahead and talk about
Let's
Linwood.
talk about
What do we need to talk about Linwood for?
We have a lot of memories with Linwood.
I have more memories with Linwood while I knew you than you did.
We already talked about our memories, me and him, on our podcast. So what's your craziest moment with Linwood?
Craziest moment?
Yeah.
I would say the time that we were driving back on Otterdale and he was going 70 in a 35 and you were crying in the back seat.
So here's the first flaw of your story. I didn't cry.
Yes, you did. Legitimate? There were tears. You cannot lie on your podcast. You're supposed to be truthful here. You had tears. Everybody in that car knew you were crying. You were crying. Don't lie.
Was I about to shit my pants in fear? Yes. You were gonna have shit smell the whole fucking way home. Had I not shat myself. If I shat myself, there would have been shit in the car.
Oh my god.
Shit for shit. But anyway.
You were fine.
But yeah, that was the most terrifying experience.
Haven't you driven with Linwood before then?
Yes, but he never did anything like that. He drives like he's in a NASCAR race.
He always did that. Every single time.
He drives like he's in a NASCAR race.
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb. It's actually just dumb. How do people get speeding tickets for going like 5 over, and he never gets one for going like 45 over?
Because nobody catches anybody on Otterdale. You just don't.
Oh, fucking Otterdale. I remember Otterdale. A lot of my buddies live there. And
I live close to Otterdale.
It's a shame you never went to Midlow High, because if you went to Midlow High with me, we would have probably known each other.
I don't think so. You're 3... Aren't you... Are you 3 or 4 grades ahead of me?
Let's see, I graduated...
3 grades ahead of me.
I graduated in 2019, so... I'm so far 2, but it's going to be 3 this year.
No, you're 3 right now. I'm saying, like, you're 3 grades ahead of me, like, in high school. So, a freshman knowing a senior is kind of rare. Especially going into a high school with no friends.
Well, if you're a senior trying to talk to a freshman, chances are you're a little bit of a weirdo. But anyway.
Well, I mean, we have freshman buddies in in leadership, but I mean, other than that, with COVID, I haven't talked to any underclassmen. But when I was a senior, when I was a freshman, I don't think I knew any upperclassmen. When I was a sophomore, I knew Luke, so I knew a lot of his senior friends when I was a sophomore. But other than that...
Let's talk about the time that you painted my nails.
I painted them?
You made me paint them. Made me get them painted.
Make you, okay. You wanted to.
That's a lie. You're spitting lies.
Not.
Podcast.
I said we should get our nails done. You're like, I don't really want to. I'm like, please, it'll be fun. I'm like, it'll be a fun experience, okay? Like, I promise, it'll be great. And you're like, okay. So I didn't force you. You decided you wanted to do it.
Listen, though, that lady in there kind of fucked me up.
Well, she didn't really do nails that great.
No, she kind of botched it.
Yeah, like she didn't really do, and like not even that. She didn't even push back my cuticles. Like that's kind of like what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to push back my cuticles and then clip them, but she didn't even do that.
I don't understand nail terminology, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, you should. But because of the fact that we got our nails done, I have severely uh uh limited my nail biting.
Well, that's
Which
good.
got my grandmother to be very thankful for you, and she allowed you into her house and took a picture of us together. She was so happy that you helped me stop biting my nail.
What can I say? I'm a life changer. There's just nothing else to it.
Yeah, because your other previous girlfriends, one turned trans and the other one became bi. So you're also a big life changer in that sense.
Shout out to Daniel. Once again, I already mentioned you out in the first episode, but shout out to Daniel again. And, yes, I haven't had the best history with relationships. I know that. But here I am. I'm staying away from them. So that's probably the best for everybody involved. And like I told Austin on our podcast, I'm okay with being a single Pringle.
I'm okay with being a single Pringle too.
Your profile picture is literally a fucking Pringle.
Yeah, I know. I changed it because I'm a single Pringle.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what it was, but was it actually?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
But yeah, I was like, well, I'm single now, and I want to be a single Pringle, and also because I was like, oh my god, I need to show him that I am so cool with the fact that I'm single, and I'm so great, and he should be sorry that he broke up with me because I'm too great for him.
Yeah, I'm regretting my choice day by day.
You should.
One last thing before we go. I feel like we're getting close to our hour here. Is there any regrets that you've had from our time together?
There's a couple of things. Some of them that I won't talk about. But
some things just need to be private.
Huh?
Some things just need to be private.
Yeah. I think one of the major things that I wish that I would have done, the same thing I did for Luke, was kind of my major thing was communication, because I'm really bad at that. I tend to not fake my feelings, but just not be very truthful at moments in time. So I wish that would have been better. And advice for anybody who wants to be in a relationship: communication is key. Don't care what anybody else tells you. You need to do that.
It is key.
Especially in a long distance relationship, because that's all you have.
It's key. You gotta have communication.
Yeah. I think another thing, I said it a lot, I know, but sometimes I wish I kind of said it more. Just because of a lot, the things that were happening. I wish that I had thanked you more and been more gracious of what the situation was and how you handled some things, and then said I love you more, because I'm really bad with expressing things sometimes. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying I didn't say it, but, it's like when you have parents who, say that they love you and show you, but, your parents are able to do that by, like, giving gifts or giving kisses and hugs and stuff like that, and being long distance, we're not really able to do a lot of the physical things, and, being a teenager and being broke as fuck, I can't get you all the gifts that I wish I could have gotten you. So, sometimes just being able to say I love you is a gift all in itself. So, At least in my perspective.
Well, I think that's a great way to put a topper on this, and I unless you have anything else to say. Hello.
I said, I'm thinking.
Oh, I didn't hear that, guys. I didn't hear
No, I think that's it.
that. All right. Well, I really do appreciate you for coming on. You are my third official guest on this podcast, and I'm very grateful to anybody who decides to watch it. I know I'm gonna have like 24 people at the most watch it, but it's okay.
And also, I made this happen. Proud sponsor of Regan. The person who made the webcam and helped him tell him to go for his dreams.
I'll get copyright claimed if I
yeah.
don't sponsor. If I'll involve Regan in my sponsor from here on in, if I don't say this video is sponsored by Regan, I'm gonna get a copyright strike. I'm gonna be taken off the platform.
Yeah, you will, and not only the webcam, but also your drive to even do this, because I was the one who told you to follow your dreams and just do it.
And that's important.
Make your dreams come true.
Follow your damn dreams. That's gonna be where we end it. Follow your dreams.
Yep. Well, be like me. Be the change.
Be the change in the world that you'd want to see.
Yep.
That's good. That's motivational as fuck. I'm the man.
No, actually, I said that.
Anyway, I do appreciate you for coming on. And I will talk to you soon, I'm sure, at some point in time.
Probably.
Alright. Deuces!
Bye!